Ba-dum-bum.
Hi. Welcome to the first ever live quality time with Nick and Erin.
Yeah.
How's this feel, Erin?
A little nerve-wracking.
Is it?
But it's fine.
Now when you say something stupid, you can't have me edit it out like you always do.
Shut up.
She never does that.
You never edit.
No, I never do. I'm like, if we say it,
stays.
if we say it, it's in. That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
So this is our first live quality time. By the way, Erin, the camera is here. That's our audience. And here. We got a lot of cameras going on. Guys, this is a complicated setup.
At least just this way.
But we are currently live on Twitch with people watching us now.
Yeah,
this is cool. And then there's no reason for them to subscribe to our YouTube. Because they will be like, I've already seen this.
They already subscribe, so it's
yeah.
fine.
No, I mean,
a lot.
Actually, a lot of people do subscribe, but they don't watch it. So, guys, by the way, go subscribe to my YouTube channel and please start watching our videos. I know I need to get better at editing short clips and making it fun and easy, but we have like 23, 24 something episodes up.
Yeah.
On our YouTube. We have like 8,000. Almost 9,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And we put up an episode 2 weeks ago and it had about
views.
It has like 250 views or something. I don't know, 230. Guys, we got to up these numbers, okay? I know I'm not so good at like promoting it because I put up the episodes and then I kind of move on with my week because I got a million things to do. Mm-hmm. But we really need to up the numbers. And I know I need to get better at editing clips and putting them on TikTok and saying, yo, guys, go check out this episode and cutting them up into little bits and pieces so you can just see the parts that you want to see. I'm going to get better at it, okay?
Nick.
However, notice how I skipped over all of that and I went right to let's live stream on Twitch. Let's live stream on TikTok. Let's just live stream and let's record for YouTube all at the same time. What possibly could go wrong? As I'm sitting here freaking out about, is the audio recording? Is the video recording? Is everything good? I think everything's good.
Are my lips synced?
Does Erin look hot? That's all I really care about.
Always.
Is she making me look good? Because I hope so. So yeah, this is our first ever attempt at the live stream. We are trying to get on Twitch. So guys, if you haven't already, follow my Twitch at Nick Foster Official. You pretty much can find me everywhere at Nick Foster Official because hey, I'm official. Everybody makes fun of me on TikTok. Like people will tag me and things like if your username is your name official, like you're a piece of shit. I forget what, they just make fun of you. Like, who do you think you are? Some type of celebrity? I'm like, look, I wanted to be Nick Foster jokes.
I know.
That's who I want. That's who I am at my soul, in my heart. But no, they banned that. So I'm like, okay, I need to brand myself.
So you want me to be basic? Fine,
yeah,
I'll be basic then.
I'll be Nick Foster, not joking. Nick Foster, dead serious. Nick Foster, all those rape jokes, not joking. Watch out. Lock your doors at night, ladies.
Oh my goodness.
And gentlemen, I don't discriminate.
Equal opportunist.
Yeah, I'm not a sexist. Actually, I am. No, I'm not. What do you think? Do you think I'm a sexist?
No.
You just know I'm joking around.
Not at all.
These people don't understand. They think it's so serious. Oh my God. I put out the one about Kamala Harris. Like, hey, the perks of this election, no matter who wins or loses, at least it won't be a woman.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's just like a joke, just leaning into how sexist and misogynistic it is. And everybody takes this, they're just like, oh my God, that's sexist. Yeah, that's the point. It's supposed to be a dumb sexist thing that I'm just like playing a character like I hate women. And you guys get outraged and then just start sharing the video everywhere. That's what I do.
So good.
It's such simple trolling. But yeah, they don't understand. They think it's like serious. These are your real. Then they go into the comments and they're like, at first I thought he was just joking, but then I went into the comments and he kept saying all this stuff. And that's how I know he really believes it. As though like you just are supposed to post the joke and then be like, by the way, guys, these are my real opinions in
JK,
the comments.
LOL.
I actually really love and respect women. It's like, no. I'm joking in the comments too. I'm keeping the joke going forever. And every time you get mad at me, I keep it going even more and I double down again and triple down and just, that's the joke.
No, I don't respect women.
No, you have to be, you can only post your real opinions on social media. That's the rule.
For sure.
That's how it is. Otherwise, if you tell a joke 3 times in a row, that means it's your real opinion. That means you really hate women. This
Trump
is why
2024.
maybe. This is why you'll never have a girlfriend, Nick. Ba-da-bum.
I'm just his sister.
Yeah, Trump 2024. So this is our first podcast after the election, which if you
Yeah.
guys all know the results of the election, Trump won. He totally won. Trump is the winner. Joe Biden
Did
stole
you
it.
see that thing that I tagged you in? And it was talking about his speech later, and it was from Wolf of Wall Street, where he was just like,
I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not leaving.
"It is in the Coast Guard to remove me," like all this shit.
They will.
Like,
The thing is,
that's so funny.
he might pull that and not leave. And I actually I really hope.
He's not going to.
No, I know,
That's
but
childish.
I hope. Trump's a bigger person than that. He's not childish. He's a bigger person. I mean, he is a bigger person.
Yes.
Trump is actually so fat, but he's
Your mama's so fat.
he's still not as fat as Lizzo.
Oh.
That's not an insult. It's just a fact. It's an insult if you hate facts. Isn't that fun? Like, people are like, Trump's so obese, and then they're like, Lizzo is a queen. I'm like, Lizzo is like 30, 40 pounds heavier than Trump, and he's like 6'3".
Why she's a queen is because she is an amazing person, too.
Is she?
She is. I just watched
Why?
that interview of her.
Oh my
on
God.
that
It's easy to be an
show or
amazing
whatever.
person when the cameras are on.
I think she still is.
I'm not saying
She
she's a
plays
terrible
the
person.
flute.
I'm just saying that makes her amazing.
Bad people don't play the flute.
It's too early
First
in
of
this
all.
podcast for the Lizzo slander, all right? I've already been banned from everything because of Lizzo. I want to make more
I love
Lizzo
you, Lizzo.
jokes. No, Lizzo,
But
I don't
also
hate
jokes
you.
are great.
I don't
Yeah.
hate you. I've never
I find it
said
funny.
I don't like
No.
Lizzo. All I said is Lizzo is fat and obese.
Yes.
What's wrong with that? I thought that was a good thing in today's society. That's good.
body positivity?
Yes,
Yeah.
then be positive about being fat. Don't
Yes.
lie and say I'm skinny or I'm beautiful, or I mean, you can be beautiful,
Big
but
bones.
your fat is beautiful. So when I call you fat, it's a compliment.
Yeah.
You can't play at both sides. Either it's wonderful or it's not.
It depends how you say it. If you made like pH, like, yeah. No, I'm just
Fat
kidding.
with a pH. Yeah, I don't know. So Trump lost the election. Supposedly. We're on the fence. I think he is going to be playing a
Has he done a speech yet?
no, he's
Okay.
never. Guys, I got the cough, by the way.
I
by
got
the
the
way.
black lung
I
cough.
got a cough this week. I'm not gonna lie. I know I've been going out a lot and not wearing the mask. I do wear the mask. But
we have to,
when
yes.
they force me to, which is not all the time. It's like walk up to the bar, you got to put your mask on. But
Walking
hang out,
into the establishment, put the mask on, but then you can take it off when you get in.
Yeah, as soon as we get inside, they're like, "Oh, take the mask off. It's fine. Nobody cares." But when you walk over here, you got to put the mask on. But when you walk over there, you don't need the mask.
Mm-hmm.
That's how Rona works. If you have a drink, you got Rona.
Yeah.
If you have a drink with French fries, you don't get the Rona.
Yes, but also the places that we've been to have been outside,
Yeah. And
pretty much.
look, guys, I got the Rona.
He has a cold.
Look, I don't have the Rona. If you don't know,
Or like a sinus infection. or
colds
something.
still exist.
Yeah.
Like regular illnesses still exist.
It's funny that we went out and it's like corona's everywhere, like watch out, blah blah blah. And you caught a cold.
I know.
Like
People aren't taking
But-
us serious. You know,
but
they're
really
like,
that is good, and we are very blessed that you didn't get it because
Yeah.
I know people have, and like
well,
you know,
at first, because if you tune into our last week's episode, by the way, guys, watch our last week's episode. We only got like 200 something views. Come on, 8,000 subscribers
Watch it
on
right
YouTube.
now. Get off of
go,
here
yeah,
and
stop
watch
watching
it.
us here and go. There's so many cameras to look at, and then go watch our last week's episode. But we were talking about how I got sick.
Yeah.
And it was so funny that like I got a cold instead of Rona.
Mm-hmm.
But then I started watching back and I was like, maybe I do have Rona. What if I'm just like oblivious? And that's probably what like a lot of people who are brainwashed are thinking like, you got it, you fucking asshole.
yeah.
But I looked up all the symptoms and it literally is like how to tell the difference between a cold and Corona. And I'm
Yeah.
going down the list and I'm like cold, not Rona, cold. I think I got a cold,
Yeah.
not the Rona. It's all like nasal congestion and head like pressure, and I've been sneezing things out. And like literally, Rona says
Yeah.
like you don't get any of that, like rarely, and you lose your taste. And I'm like, I taste everything fine. And
Yeah.
it's just a cold, guys. I just have a cold. They still exist. Although it is interesting, the flu is down. like 90 something percent this year, 98%.
That's insane.
And people are like, what's going on?
Because of the masks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's actually like, maybe we should wear masks all the time.
I think so, because a lot of people just sneeze out into the open. Like, people don't understand wash your hands. Like, people started learning how to wash their hands.
You play with your balls and you sneeze in people's
cough
faces.
a bunch, and then you shake their hands.
That's what I do.
That's common decency.
That's how I do it. That's how you know your friends.
You mark your territory.
Yeah. You know how many times if I don't shake your hand, or if I do shake your hand, I mean you better know.
In it first.
You better know I just peed on that. You know, that's how I showed dominance.
For sure.
But it is interesting. It's very interesting that the flu is down so much. So that's where people have been talking, like, what is going to be different when Corona is over and the quarantine's over? Well, how's life going to be different? And people are speculating like what's going to be. I think we are just going to wear masks now. I think it's going to become like you must wear a shirt and shoes to have service. You must wear a mask.
I don't think must, because there is such a pushback on wearing masks right now. And like one of our friends just went up to the Carolinas, and she was saying like she went into the bar and her friend were wearing masks, and like some town folk like came up to her and they were like, you don't need to wear a mask in here, and just like, what are you doing?
Take
and
it
like,
off.
I know, like thinking they were the weirdos for wearing it. And like, so I think it'll maybe be 50-50, because I personally love it going into a public bathroom, because I just feel like there's like grossness everywhere. Like when I flush a toilet, I'm like, what is
that's why you're born a man
here?
where you can pee outside. That's what I do. I just pee outside everywhere.
I pee outside too.
We go to the beach and you have to like go find a bathroom that you know is going to be like in flip flops, covered in pee, all kinds of grossness.
Who wears flip flops first of all?
I do. I'm at the beach.
Bathroom?
That's why I don't go into the bathroom. I go to the beach.
On the beach.
I'm
just walk in with
you
barefoot.
have fun. I'm going to walk down to the water and I'm going to pee right into the water like a man. The
bathrooms I go to are nice though, that I find.
Yeah, I don't trust it.
And I just don't.
I like being able to pee anywhere. Sometimes, when I come back home, I literally go in the backyard instead of inside when I gotta pee, just because I fucking can.
And wants to kill my plants.
Sorry, Mom. Didn't mean to. It's just fun to pee outside. It feels great. It's
the cat
one with
comes
nature.
Back over. Psst, like this is my house. Bitch.
I'm marking my territory. It's an interesting time with the Trump thing and then with the mask thing. I also think a lot of it is political. Like, it breaks down straight on, if you're a Biden supporter, you wear masks. If you're a Trump supporter, you don't wear masks.
Yeah.
Even though that's not really true, but there's a clear political alignment to it. Mm-hmm. And so now that Trump lost, allegedly, I don't care if Trump
recount.
But I think maybe it will be. Biden is talking about putting in a mask mandate nationwide.
Oh, yeah.
Which, fuck you, Biden. Sorry, Mom, but also freedom.
Yes,
this is America.
Fuck it. Just wear the fucking mask.
Do you know what this flag represents? It represents I can breathe and sneeze all over you if I want to. That's what these stars and stripes mean to me.
Yeah.
That's why I step all over the flag, because I sneeze all over it too. If you don't know about my stepping on the flag controversy, please go check my TikTok. Scroll down to about 2 months ago and see where I lost 10,000 followers in like 2 days.
Yeah.
By the way, I've climbed myself back up to 600,000. Thank you, everybody.
Yay!
Who has
you did it. You
did it. You guys are the real goats around here.
MVP, or is that not a thing anymore? I guess.
No, now it's GOAT.
GOAT.
Greatest of all time.
Yeah. No, I don't even know what that was.
Which is, you guys you really do kind of overuse that compliment. It's like the GOAT is supposed to be withheld for like LeBron James.
What does it mean again?
Or like the greatest of all time.
Yes.
Or fucking, I don't know, Michael Jackson or something.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just
Kobe.
Whatever. It's a debate between those. But then you'll just see one funny TikToker that you like, and you're like, you got 200,000 followers. You're the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Nobody could beat you. It's like Charlie D'Amelio has like 3 countries following her. Nah, you're greater than her, bro. You're way greater.
I mean, maybe to them you are.
I mean, I like it. But also, it starts to not mean as much when I know they just throw it around.
The first one was just like, oh, yes. And then like thousands later, you're like, all right, cool.
By the
you
way,
hate me?
speaking of which, I talked about this before, how much I hate it. Not hate. I love, guys, I love you. I love you all on all 3 cameras. However, my TikTok has been so dry and boring because all it is when I post something is a bunch of comments being like, I love you, dude. Haha, you're the king. You're the GOAT. And I love that. And you can't fake it. You can't fake hate. But I miss
They're like,
the
all right, I'm
haters.
going on here and being like, fuck you.
God. But I stepped back in. I stirred it up again this week. I got the haters coming at me. I got them so pissed. The election was good for me because I finally boosted up over 600,000, all because of the election.
I know. You got all those Trump supporters back from you stepping on the flag.
They're like, I still remember that time you stepped on the flag, bro. However, I needed that.
Or two, we all have attention spans of a goldfish, so they forgot that you even did that. So.
I've made that point several times before, how no matter what you do to piss people off, people think like
you can win them back.
Yeah, you can win them back so easily. The amount of people, because of Trump, who love George W. Bush now, and they say, George W. Bush, he was a real president. He was dignified. When George W. Bush was in office, all people did was mock how stupid he was, how bad at speaking, how he was a war criminal, how he was the worst person ever. And now they're just like, oh, I miss George W. He was a good president. Like, you literally can just win people over based on the current moment of society and culture. Even Trump, as much as everybody hates him, if a worse candidate comes out 4, 8 years, 10 years from now, and Trump's still alive, which who knows, but dude's got some good energy behind him.
He beat Corona, so.
Yeah, in like 2 days. Even I haven't beat Corona.
It's in like 2 weeks.
Allegedly. If there's a worse candidate who comes out, when they know they don't have to worry about Trump could literally come out and be like, I think he's terrible. I think he's terrible for this nation. He's awful. He's the worst ever. And people will be like, yeah, I believe in Trump. Listen to what Trump said. That's what happens, man. People are so forgetful and so easy to just move on.
Can I say, too, that podcast that you were listening to earlier about Bush and 9/11 and how his, what's it called? Popularity was down before 9/11 hit. And then afterwards, everyone loved him and they were so happy with what he was doing and they were on board with everything.
Yeah, I remember it very well.
And it was because of the guy was kind of testing, once we are reminded of our inevitable death and our mortality.
Oh,
right?
that guy, yeah.
Yeah. Then our mindset changes on what we like more. And, because I guess before all of this, it was like everyone loved John Kerry until they were reminded of like, we could die at any moment or something like this, or someone could come and kill us all. And then it was, oh, well, Bush. Yeah. Like, we need Bush then.
Because when that happened, when 9/11 happened, people didn't like Bush before that.
I know.
I mean, people didn't like Bush after because he got into a bunch of wars, but he had some years in there where he was very highly rated because he was our figurehead when we were at our lowest, when the country got attacked and everybody was lost, and he came out and he was standing on the rubble saying, we are going to get revenge and we are going to rebuild and we are America and we're going to come together.
We are one.
And it was such a patriotic time in America. You kids, anybody watching who's younger than who doesn't really remember 9/11, you don't understand how unified America was.
Yes.
To see how divided we are today,
it's fucking crazy.
And how we are just like two separate Americas who hate each other's guts. Dude, for 2 years, 3 years, probably 6 years after 9/11, it was just...
You're American, we're American, we are
all
together.
In this together.
Yes.
It brought everybody together in such a good way, except if you're a Muslim.
Yeah.
That they they probably were not feeling too good after that, unfortunately.
And it sucks that a bunch of people had to die for that to happen. It's like, God forbid, I hope that doesn't happen now to bring us all together.
The thing is, if that did happen now, I bet we wouldn't come together. This was in a time before social media. I think social media is the divider between everybody. It gives everybody a voice. There was no social media in 2001. No, what was there? I mean, there wasn't even...
MySpace?
No, not even. No, there was nothing.
AIM?
There was the news, and there was... I mean, there was websites, but
Email.
it wasn't social.
No.
I feel like people would come together for... It depends on what it was. If it was like a if it was like an alien attack or something, maybe.
Yeah.
But even if it was,
something that could start a war, then
No.
probably not, because people would don't start a war, and like, we need war.
I think
so.
if China invaded or Russia, I mean, nobody's going to invade us, but if we started some kind of war somehow, it would be super divided.
Yeah.
You know, and even the Iraq war, that's how the Iraq war started, is everybody was in support of like, we need to get revenge. And Iraq didn't even do it. They weren't even the culprit. Yeah. It was just, we were like so unified and like, let's get them. Let's get them all.
Sorry. Like,
it was a crazy time. It was a good time and it was a bad time because the wars were terrible.
And then it lasted forever and nothing was getting accomplished.
Happened.
So it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Which is unfortunate because everybody who's celebrating Biden right now, Biden is an establishment candidate who's going to get us back into the Middle East. As much as you hate Trump, Trump never started any wars.
Yeah.
He got us out of foreign conflicts. Mm-hmm. And he was actually fighting back against our real enemies, which are China.
Yeah.
We got to take a break, and we're going to change the clip, and we're going to be right back. Luckily, you guys live, you get to stay on, and you get to see behind the scenes of how this YouTube works.
Me pouring the drinks.
All right. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. All right, guys. So the way this is going to work on the live stream, hey, thanks to everybody watching us on TikTok and thanks to everybody watching us on Twitch. What we're going to do.
YouTube.
And YouTube. Obviously, thanks to YouTube. I always forget YouTube, even though this is the main reason we're doing this. But you guys don't see it until tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah.
Which we're going to work on that. We're going to change that because we want to go live on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
So we can actually take questions and everything, take the super chats, do all of that. But if you want to right now, tweet us a question. If you go on my Twitter, Nick Foster Jokes, that's the one place I'm still Nick Foster Jokes. Because Nick Foster Official, they don't allow that many characters. And I can't change it. So I'll have to come up with something. But also I do put a lot of jokes. I troll on Twitter a lot.
Yeah, then that's fine.
So guys, follow my Twitter, Nick Foster Jokes. And if you tweet us a question at the end of this podcast, we will answer. We'll go through and we'll try to answer some of you guys' questions. You can ask a question about Erin, about me, about whatever, about us, something for her to answer, something for me to answer.
About
just whatever.
Politics,
so
whatever,
tweet at Nick Foster Jokes. And we'll try to get your questions. And when we do the live question segment, I'll also go on Twitch. So make sure to follow my Twitch, Nick Foster Official. And we'll have you ask questions there as well. And we'll try to take some questions. Until then, we are going to be moving to YouTube Live. That's what I'm working up for. So that way we can actually do a live question segment.
How many do you need for that? What is the criteria?
I think I already have it. I mean, we already got like 8,000. It's just I have to
another camera. Or something.
I know. There's so many things we're working on. This could turn into tech talk really fast, but I want to get multiple cameras. I want to get live switchers so I can switch between. I want to set up
I know.
a dope
I'm excited
show.
for it.
But it's going to be expensive and it's going to be technologically whatever. So guys, please support us.
Subscribe to our Patreon.
Yes, which actually don't because
I know,
that's like
we haven't put anything.
I'm
on there
literally
yet.
so behind on putting content everywhere because it's just hard as a one dude to do so much. And
I offer.
Erin doesn't know how to edit,
but I don't know how to do anything.
Erin doesn't know how to do anything.
Teach me.
I'd spend 3 months teaching her, and then I'd have to check everything she does to make sure.
That's not fucking true. I am a really quick learner, and I am good at what I fucking do.
Yeah.
Ask my.
But what computer would you use?
I have my computer that's slowly fading away.
All right, sure. The point is, we got to buy new computers.
Toshiba.
We're going to build a bunch of things. I'm going to build a whole streaming system. I got to get a gaming PC because we just started streaming on Twitch video games too. We did our test run the other night.
Yeah.
So definitely just follow the Twitch. I think Twitch will be good because we can go live.
Yeah, it was cool.
We'll fix that.
No, I know.
But we're going to play some games together. We're going to, I think Twitch is a good place to follow us because I'm a type of dude who doesn't like to plan. I don't like all the work and the research and all the, planning and the writing and I have to upload here and upload there and have a schedule. I'm a type of dude that likes to, when I'm in the mood, I just flip it on and go. Yeah. I just talk. I don't really care.
I know.
And same with my TikToks. So many people want to do like collabs and be like, hey, can we collab? Even like brands and stuff that have reached out to me and they're like, we want to do this. And then other people are like, hey, can you make a video about this? And then like Spooner dude came over. He's one of our friends from Orlando. You guys know him from TikTok.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Spooner dude, because he got deleted. But
Did he come back?
he started a new account.
Okay.
But he came down and visited, and he's like he's all about like, let's collab and let's do this. And I'm like, when I'm in the mood to, I will.
Yeah.
But I don't like to sit down and be like, what am I posting today? Let me come up with something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that kind of guy. I literally just get hit with like, oh, I have a funny comeback, and then I just shoot it out.
Yeah.
I'm a type of dude. All my channels have been like, just turn on the camera and start going. This podcast, we don't plan anything.
No.
We literally are like, we're going to do a podcast today. What are we going to talk about? I don't know. We'll figure it out. None of this, I don't know. We're just talking shit. Maybe I should get better at planning, because I do want to do some deep dives into things like topics and breakdowns of different things.
No, I know.
Like,
we will eventually.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm a spontaneous type of dude.
yeah. I've had like, yeah. We could definitely get into some of my stuff too.
Ooh, this is where you guys will come in handy. Erin can psychoanalyze you and give
Just
you
the
relationship
therapy
advice.
I know.
She can be your therapist. Quality time with
love
Nick and Erin.
that.
Erin will be your therapist, and I will mock your traumas. That's what we decided on.
I know. I'm totally for it.
That's our good dynamic.
I don't hate it.
So yeah, guys, definitely tweet your questions. We're gonna see if any of these are coming in. Hey, they are coming in, but all from one person. So guys, tweet your questions to @NickFosterJokes on Twitter, or when we do that segment, we will refer to the Twitch chat. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Joe Biden though,
Yeah.
he's going to be the president supposedly. I'm on the fence. I don't really care.
When is like the official?
Here's the thing: people don't realize
Set.
that.
It has to be before January when they.
Oh yeah, it's like in mid-December.
Yeah, okay.
But this happened before in year 2000 when Al Gore technically won the election.
If
the
I
night
could
of.
have voted in those years, Al Gore would have been my vote.
He's gonna save the Arctic.
The penguins. I was so about him.
Guess what?
I loved him so
Al
much.
Gore
And fucking Bush won.
Al Gore did more damage to the.
That was Bush, right? Yeah.
Al Gore did more damage to the environmental movement from that movie, The Inconvenient Truth, that movie came out, 15, 20 years ago, and he was like, in 10 years, the polar ice caps are going to be completely melted. They've actually grown since then.
Not true.
It is true.
They have been melting.
Well, the populations of penguins have, and other wildlife that he said was going to be decimated. It didn't happen. He was full of shit. He was fear-mongering.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of these people do. I'm not one of these. I know the climate is changing.
I know, like, kind of fuck it. If we have to scare you into believing it.
But it didn't even work. But that makes people doubt it. It's just like how Trump got elected because when you call him a racist
so
1,000 times.
is he supposed to be like, the climate is going to increase 1 degree?
Well, that's more accurate.
That's very scary.
Here's the thing.
People are going to be like, so
It
fucking
is
what? But it is traumatic.
No.
No.
It is
The
true.
increases.
It is true that the climate is warming and it is changing.
Yes.
That's true. But none of the scientists, nobody knows exactly how that's going to play out. The ecosystem is so complex. There's so many unforeseen side effects. They've done this before where they try to get out an invasive species and the whole ecosystem collapses because that one species has an effect on another species, has an effect.
Invasive species?
And vice versa, where they brought wolves back.
Yeah.
They had to get rid of wolves from some ecosystem, and then they brought them back, and the thing came back because they thought getting rid of the wolves was going to help.
Yeah.
And then they had to actually reintroduce them, and that actually helped because these things all have trade-offs. And when you talk something so complex as the global ecosystem, just because things are getting warmer, yes, you can say it's getting warmer, but you can't 100% predict what that degree in warmth is going to do to the global ecosystems because it might decimate some ecosystems, which cause another ecosystem to climb and thrive. And that could be better or worse. And all of these have effects that nobody understands. It's the butterfly
but the one
effect.
thing is that the ice caps will melt and then sea
possibly.
levels will rise.
Possibly.
And then where we live, so it affects us more
or
in
it
a sense.
salinates the Gulf Stream, which brings warmth and actually makes the coastal things become better, and we get more flourishing throughout places that are now deserts. That I don't know it all. I'm just saying there's these. You see this all the time when people try to engineer the ecosystems.
Yeah.
And one small change that you just look at from this angle and you say,
deserts become luscious now. We need the deserts though. We need those.
You see what I mean? You're proving my point.
Yes. And so you can't.
You're proving my point.
How?
Is that we might do something and be like, oh, we thought the bad effect was going to be that the sea line or sea level is going to rise and wipe out cities.
Yes.
And that's what we're worried about, is decimating cities. But then we find out, the sea level didn't rise. Everything actually thrived, and actually it brought back a bunch of green things. That's a good thing. And then
the sea level has been rising. Those
but we don't know. My point is that is also going to have an unforeseen effect. That's going to have an unforeseen effect. That's going to have an unforeseen effect.
But we can't have deserts. We can't have areas that aren't thriving right now.
I get it. My point is it's all very complex.
We need
and nobody
the sands
knows.
from Africa to make the forests in Brazil.
Says you in today's climate, but 10,000 years ago when the Nile River Valley was luscious and green, civilization was thriving there.
Yes.
These things change. Yes. The ecosystem changes. And to focus on one aspect of just the temperature and the sea level rise, we have no clue if that's going to...
But do we adjust as humans? No.
Sometimes things that seem bad...
It takes us way slower to adjust than the...
no, we're adaptable as hell.
Not really. Not if we live here.
Bullshit. Look at the United States 100 years ago. Now,
and then all of a sudden it turns into a desert. Then what?
We move.
Okay, so it's like, yes.
People move.
Yes.
The Middle East is a desert that used to be a luscious wonderland.
We are very lucky that we can move. It's like Louisiana.
I understand.
They should fucking move.
You see my point.
If you live in Louisiana, you should kind of move because the hurricanes hit you a bunch.
You're proving my point more. Is that then it causes economic side effects that are unforeseen. That moving is harder for certain poor countries versus rich countries. And all of these effects, that's what I'm saying, is small changes can have ripple effects through many different systems of our civilization that no one person is an expert on. Everybody has ideas.
Of course.
You can measure the temperature.
We can make up stories.
And you can say, I think this is going to lead to this. Just like Al Gore said, this is going to lead to this. And it didn't lead to that. It led to something else that could be good or bad. We don't know. But everybody being a doomsdayer.
He should have said polar bears.
Here's the other thing. If you go back through human history has always thrived when the global temperature was higher. That's more energy.
So what we're doing now, it's thrived? Making it higher? Is that what you're talking about?
I look around the world and civilization is thriving quite well.
I mean, it was a while back too. So what do you mean?
Yeah, my point is we don't know. We don't know what all the effects are.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it might wipe out species, but maybe that will lead to better human flourishing in some other unforeseen or economic way. We don't know. If we can
get rid of mosquitoes, I'm for it.
I'm not a climate change denier. I believe the climate is changing. I believe the planet is getting warmer.
But I think more heat equals more mosquitoes.
Maybe. Yeah. But see that too. We're going to engineer that away. Everybody is coming up with plans.
We tried to with the love bugs.
And see, these two, we try to do one thing and then it has an unforeseen side effect. Nobody knows. These things are very, very complex. No one person is the expert. You can't just put this in a computer model and say, this is going to do this, is going to do this, because it's a chaotic system that everything is interconnected.
Yes.
And it's going to change with or without us.
So on my trip today, I was thinking about how nothing is solid, and it's just all these like chemical bonds holding one another and stuff. Like this wall is made out of no idea, but atoms that are attached to one another.
They're not even touching.
I know.
Empty space.
Yeah, so it's like it's not solid like what we think of like solid. It's and then we are made up of carbon atoms and yada yada
and others.
Yeah. And so it's like why we can't go through it is because our bonds cannot like attach to the other bonds. It's like
it's magnets.
If we could like figure out
everything is magnets.
It like was fucking blowing my mind. I'm like laying on the floor like thinking of all of this of like if we could like go through like walls or like because everything's open
certain
and like
particles can.
We're just like
I know people look at the world as it's all very solid.
Yeah.
You look at this desk, it's solid.
It seems very solid,
but it's not.
It's not.
You know what's holding you up in your chair right now?
Air.
Magnets.
Kind of. Okay. Yeah.
Magnets. It's just magnets.
Yeah.
Everything is magnets. It's
know.
electromagnetism
Like,
of
I'm
the
not
forces where they come really close together, just like a magnet, and they repel each other.
Yeah.
So you get really close. That's what touch is. You never touch anything.
I remember
You're
you
just
telling me about
getting
water,
repelled.
and like you can't ever get wet. You don't get wet. It's just you feel the temperature of the water. You're not wet. You're just hot or cold or like whatever.
Yeah,
and you kind of feel like
same with temperature.
yeah. And so I was like, then one day I was tripping and I was like in the shower, and like the water was just like coming over me, and I was just like, it like wasn't touching me. It was just like falling like over my skin, but I could like feel it. And it was just like
one day she was tripping. One day she was tripping earlier today.
I know, that's what I was saying.
You trip every day of your life.
No, I don't.
Micro tripping, just a little. Don't do drugs, kids.
No, micro dosing.
Do the good drugs.
It was absolutely amazing, just like have these like thoughts and experiences, and like, but it was the same thing. It was just like I could go, like, this wall isn't here, and like I can see things like moving. It's
fun to think about. That's how, when I do trip, I try to take my like scientific knowledge and like quantum mechanics, my knowledge of that, and like the you know, like understanding of physics, but then also tie it to these psychedelic knowledges and experiences that I've had of like philosophy and spirituality.
Yeah.
And because I kind of know both sides, I try to imagine the actual physical makeup of the universe and like my place in it. And when you really think about yourself as like a ball of energy walking around a room of energy, that's just magnetic forces floating and repelling each other, and you're this temporary form of just particles and chemicals and atoms all playing with the forces of electromagnetism, x-rays, visible lights. I mean, that's all electromagnetism.
Just like,
and then the nuclear forces of strong and weak nuclear forces, and then gravity. Those are the four fundamental forces. You have the weak nuclear force, the strong nuclear force, electromagnetism, which is light, magnets, electricity, everything together, and gravity. Those four forces are everything in the universe that bring everything together. And when you start to like imagine yourself as an interplay of those forces with the forces of nature while you're tripping, it's nuts, because you can really get outside of like, this is solid, this is real, and start kind of visualizing it as just energies that you are kind of floating through, and you're a part of. And we're just
seeing it as a certain way, and it's like we're just making it up in our own mind, and like, you know,
your mind
we interpret it
is bringing a model together of like all these different, what it's like
you
imagine,
see it this way, I see it a different way.
Imagine like you know, like a pool when it's super still and flat and the surface is like super flat and calm. Yeah. But then you put like a bunch of people in it, and all the water is sloshing around and all this energy is moving. Yeah. Now imagine there's like a bug on the surface of the water that could interpret all that sloshing and like map out where everything is in the water and what they're doing. That's what electromagnetism is, and all these forces are. Is there's all these forces, all this chaos flowing through us and through this room right now, but your brain is kind of picking out certain signals and ignoring other signals, and it's putting it together, and you can piece together where things are, what they're doing, where the sound's coming from, where the light's coming from. And your brain is just wired to that spectrum of different forces. But it really, if you stepped outside of your human brain, which is kind of what tripping is it kind of takes some of the filters away, but not enough. Yeah. But with technology, satellites and things, we can see X-rays, we can see gamma rays, we can see microwaves, we can see everything.
That's the thing. Are those atoms that are like, is light? What is light?
Light is just, I mean, it's an interplay of electromagnetism, which is, I mean, there's photons.
Because we're only made out of atoms, right?
Yeah, I mean,
we're made out of atoms, but light isn't atoms.
Light is a particle. It's not an atom. Atoms are built out of multiple different types of particles that kind of come together to make an atom. Okay. Light is a massless particle but light is weird. It's kind of like a particle and a wave, depending how.
Yeah, because like the UV rays and like all of this, those are different types of
they're flowing through us right now.
The light.
and neutrinos and all kinds of things are shooting through your body right now, and they don't even touch anything, and you have no clue that they exist.
Yeah.
Light is just a small spectrum of all electromagnetism, from infrared to ultraviolet.
Okay.
So you have X-rays and gamma rays and microwaves and all these different things that are like outside of our visible spectrum.
Yeah.
And then you have a small visible spectrum of like what we call colors, which is just a sliver that our eyes pick up.
Yeah.
But it's the same, like Wi-Fi is color.
Yeah.
It's just an invisible color you can't see.
What color is it?
Nobody knows. Because your colors aren't real. They're just made up in our head.
Yeah.
But it's not color. I say that facetiously. It's electromagnet. It's an electrical signal of the electromagnetic wave. But that's what colors are, is just a certain band of that electric signal that our eyes can interpret and model in our brain as a color. But outside of red is infrared. You feel it when you go out in the sun. You feel the heat on your skin. That's infrared or ultraviolet. You can't see it.
Yeah.
But it's there. It heats you up, and you can actually feel it because it's energy flowing into your skin. And then the wavelengths change on both ends, and they have different effects that you can do different things
So
with.
are those the two things? There are, like, there's light and there's atoms and...
No, there is
gravity,
electromagnetism. That's all of the colors, all of the visible light, all of the gamma rays, X-rays, microwaves, all of that. And then there's strong and weak nuclear forces, which are those are what hold atoms. It's kind of how we create the atomic bomb, when you can split the strong nuclear force, which is what holds atoms together.
So that's what's holding us together?
It's what holds atoms together, like the nucleus of neutrons and protons together and holds them together.
We have atoms in us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's every kind of holding us together as well.
Well, so is gravity, and so is electromagnetism.
Yeah, it's all working together.
All the four. Those are the four forces that all work together to create everything. Yeah. And that's it. Oh, it's pretty cool.
It is.
It's fun to think about, and it really does tie up to like tripping and spirituality if you think of it that way. But science always does the thing of like, that's not real. And then hippies are always like, that's not real. It's like, they're both real. They're just different ways of looking at the world. We got to take another break, and we'll be right back.
That's as I was just like laying there.
You got to hold that thought. We got to take I got to switch this clip.
You're fucking cute.
You guys hear that over here?
I like you.
Nick, you're so cute. Oh my God. You're so cute. Tell me more about how cute I am. Instead of getting me ranting about electromagnetism.
No, let's go back to that.
Just tell me how cute I am. Come on.
You're the cutest.
You're so cute.
So cute.
So cute. Okay, what are we talking about? We were jumping. I don't know how we got onto all that, because we were talking. I wanted to talk about the Trump thing and all of this, but but then we got into the deep philosophical quantum mechanics of the universe.
I was just tripping today, and like things in the room are kind of like moving, and they were coming in and out, and I was just like thinking about what it actually was, and like seeing the atoms for what they were, and like the walls and myself, and like it was this whole experience. And when I was younger,
I did salvia.
I want to do that so bad.
It's crazy.
I've heard.
It is crazy.
And I'm excited
It's very hard to explain. But it was in my younger years where I hadn't really understood science and understood philosophy, and certainly
DMT. I want to do that.
I certainly hadn't tripped a lot when I did it. I don't even think I had done mushrooms at the time. So it was just this out of body alien crazy experience. Yeah. But I had this one experience that was so crazy that then it was like a couple years later when I really started getting into science, and I started watching all kinds of videos about understanding quantum mechanics and the electromagnetic spectrum and all these different things, particles and stuff. Mm-hmm. And there was an animation that I saw, and I wish I could find it again, where it kind of broke down the universe into its particle self and what it would look like if you just saw the world for what it was.
Yeah.
And it was exactly what I had experienced on salvia.
What?
It was like, the best way I can describe it is you take salvia, we like smoked it through like a bong, and it's just
Jesus Christ.
Hits you. You have to, because you have to get like a big amount for it to kind of take off, and you have to kind of hold it, and then it just rips you in this other reality.
That's
like
nuts.
Literally you just lose all sense of self.
Oh my gosh.
And weird thing, like from the outside, it looks terrible and crazy because I'm like talking in tongues. You don't understand what I'm saying. And I remember my arms were like moving up uncontrollably and I was like doing this kind of thing. But what was happening in my brain was like the whole world broke down into the building blocks of reality.
Yeah.
And it almost looked like, if you ever remember that music video from the White Stripes, Seven Nation Army, where it's like zooming in, it's built out of Legos that build up, and it's like
I haven't seen that. No. I know the song. I haven't seen the music video though.
Well, the music video, I'm pretty sure it was Seven Nation Army, and it's like all built out of Lego. It's like a stop motion animation of
cool.
Legos kind of building everything, and it kind of just makes the world look very blocky and pixelated.
Yeah.
And I was like in this 3D space where everything kind of broke down into the building blocks of reality. That's the way I kind of interpret it. You don't think it at the time because you don't know what's going on. It's so alien.
Yeah.
But then years later, I saw this video and I was like, that's exactly kind of how the world looked when I was deep on the salvia.
That's nuts.
And it just, that's what really got me on this thought process of thinking about psychedelic trips in the scientific sense, where I really went deep into like quantum mechanics and stuff because I had these crazy psychedelic experiences. And I talk to you all the time about like how I kind of tie the two together.
Yeah.
Because I'm so deep on science, which is very spiritual.
Hippie dippy shit.
And then I'm so deep on these psychedelic experiences, which is pure anti-science, and it's very hard to explain in scientific terms.
Yeah.
And it's not quantifiable. It's just it's such an internal, spiritual, weird, alien experience. But then I started seeing connection points between them where like this thing people describe or this experience that people have ties up to this visual that some scientists came up with about how the world would look if you like stripped away your brain from filtering out all these signals. And I'm like, these things are related and I know it in my gut. I just don't know how to put it into words because psychedelic experiences are just so hard to put into words. They're like sand through your fingertips where it's like you can't hold on to it. But
like you want to like, oh my God, I just had this crazy trip, and you try to say it and you're just like,
that sounds dumb. And other people are like, okay, whatever you say. Yeah. But there is a connection.
Like it sounded much better in my head if you could just come in.
I think that science and psychedelics or spirituality, the spirituality that you can discover through psychedelics, I don't mean religion type of spirituality.
No, I know.
I think they're two sides of the same coin. I think they're just two different lenses to look at the nature of reality.
Yeah.
And science is just so focused on quantifying things, whereas the psychedelic experience is the qualifying of things. It's the qualia experience versus the quanta experience. Quanta is like breaking things down into measurable bits and numbers. Mm-hmm. And qualia it's like quanta is like measuring the wavelength of the color red, where you can look at the color red and say, this is however many nanometers of the electromagnetic spectrum, and that light is hitting your retina and it's bouncing these cones and rods, and your brain is interpreting red.
Yeah.
And if you measure the light hitting your eyes, it's red. If you measure the light hitting my eyes, it's red.
Yeah, that's
and
quanta.
You can measure. That's the quanta. It's like the mathematical measurement where you could sit somebody who's never seen the color red, and you could teach them all about the science of color.
So a blind person.
Well, there's an old thought experiment where you take somebody and you put them in a black and white room where you paint everything gray. Mm-hmm. You never bring, even an apple you bring in, it's gray. Everything they ever see is gray. They never see the color red or any color, but you teach them everything about the electromagnetic spectrum. You teach them about what your cones and rods do, how light works, how colors you could teach them everything about the science and the measurements about the color red.
Yeah.
But that person will never understand what red looks like in your brain until you actually see something red. That's the qualia of experience.
Yeah.
That's the thing that can never be measured or quantified. That's the old question of like, if we look at the same color, do we see the same thing? Because we know we can measure that when you look at the same color as me, we're getting the same wavelength of the electromagnetic spectrum into our eyes.
Yeah.
But there's no way
it's like
to
my
know.
swimsuit. I say it was orange.
No,
you're like,
that's
it's pink.
different. That's different.
That's not?
Well, no, because we're still looking at the same wavelength of light that can be measured. That's a quirk of language. That's just language. Oh. No, this is slightly different.
Okay.
Where I could look at red and it looks like what green looks like to you. And you look at red and it could look like what yellow looks like to me, or purple, or any like.
Is that a thing?
It could. Oh. We don't know because there's no way to measure what the experience in your mind looks like. That's an immeasurable, unquantifiable phenomenon of consciousness that there's in no way.
It's like colorblind people. That looks like red to me, but it looks like a different color to them because they're colorblind?
Because colorblind, no. It's like we both have perfect vision and perfect color. Okay. I'm saying we don't know what the experience. It's like the taste of salt. No, yeah. What if salt to me tastes like sour Skittles? Yeah. And sour Skittles to you taste like beef.
It's like cilantro.
There's no way to know.
They hate cilantro, and some people, it tastes really good.
That's not also my point either. Erin is completely missing. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. I'm saying that we are tasting the exact same thing that could be measured.
We're tasting, but cilantro, that can be measured.
It's not about whether you like it or not. It's that the way, okay.
Some people it tastes like poop.
Red and green look good together.
Okay, if you know what I'm talking about, cilantro.
Red and green look good together as Christmas colors, right? Everybody agrees that red and green go together for Christmas. Yeah. When you look at red and green, it could look like yellow and brown. And when I look at you red and green, it could look like purple and orange. Totally gross. I mean, I don't know if those go together or not. My point is the experience could be completely alien, but we're still going to look at it as pleasant because we all agree that red and green look good as Christmas colors, and those are Christmas colors. We define those wavelengths of light to be complementary to each other in whatever type of way. Yeah. But what they actually look, if I could go into your mind and look at the colors, it might look gross. It might look like those colors don't go together at all because the experience of the color is alien to me. And we don't know. There's no way to know what colors look like in your mind in the same way as like a blind person. You could never explain what a color looks like. Yeah. You could never say, this is what, you can kind of analogize it to like notes of music, like these tones sound good, or beats, or you could come up with some type of weak analogy. Yeah. But there's no way that a blind person who's never seen what red looks like could ever understand for sure solely by you explaining it or defining the mathematics of what the wavelength is. No way. It's impossible. It's called the hard problem of consciousness, where we just don't understand. We understand how the brain works and how it perceives signals and how it does all of these things, but we have no clue how those come together to form an experience, which is the qualia of consciousness, not the quanta. We can measure the light, but we can never understand why that feels like red in our minds. Yeah. And that's our minds creating a hallucination the same way that tripping creates a hallucination.
So is it like when I see like red, I think of like anger? It's like, it feels like an angry or maybe also like a sexy vibe. It's like there's like could be like two totally different sides of
that's what I'm saying is almost color. Everybody agrees. Is that the
cool? Not quanta.
No, because everybody agrees that red has that same effect on them. Yeah. But the red that they actually feel in their mind might look like yellow to you. And you would be like, why does yellow fill you with that? But we both agree that it fills us with the same feeling, even though the look of it might be completely alien to each other. And it might even be a color.
And what is that called? That's the
qualia of experience. Yeah. Versus the quanta.
Quanta, yeah.
The crazy thing is it might even be a color that we don't even know exists, because we know yellow and red and blue and green and orange. Try to make up a new color in your mind. Try to invent a new color and imagine what a new color would be. It's impossible. Nope. You can't do it. Yet, all the colors in my mind might be colors that you've never, ever seen in your mind. We just agree that when we look at that, that's blue, because you have a word that is tied to that wavelength of light.
But we don't know if it looks like.
And I have a word that ties to that wavelength of light. Yeah. So both the same wavelength of light we can measure is hitting our eyes. Yeah. But it might look like a complete alien color that you've never experienced in your mind ever. We just both look at the same thing and we're like, that's blue. Yeah, that's blue. Yeah. But it's not what we think of as blue, because that's in our mind.
It's fucking crazy.
It's not real. Yeah. Blue doesn't exist.
Emotions don't exist. I mean, they do.
I mean, emotions are kind of similar.
Yeah.
It's a qualia of experience.
Not real.
It's like imagining a computer that's an AI robot. Does it have an inner feeling? Does it have an inner life? Does it have emotions?
I know.
How do you measure that? Yeah. How do you know what that feels like? Just like when you say you're feeling some type of way, I'm like, prove it. You know, I can't feel that feeling. You can tell me. And we have words that are loose definitions to describe sadness. And I can only take what I think is sadness and project that onto you when you say you're sad or happy or loving or whatever.
Man, there have been so many things where I'm just like, I have come to terms with a lot of things about the feelings and me not trusting others is because I don't trust myself, and it's just like everything that I'm like, it's such projecting.
Why are you gonna steal your iPad, Erin?
I know this is totally off topic.
I don't trust myself. I would never leave myself alone with myself because I'm gonna steal my shit.
Steal everything. No, I just don't. It's so like a weird thing. It's
What does that mean? Elaborate.
So that I don't trust myself. It's like I have put myself in a lot of sketchy situations that I didn't think were sketchy. And then I was there and they were not good for me. So it's like, well, I thought this person was good for me or like was gonna be okay, and then it wasn't. And like there's just
I know you're dating me, so clearly you have bad judgment.
Or just like a lot of different things. It's like I just cannot like I'm working on it and I'm accepting and knowing that I am not who I was then and I am better now and like okay anyways.
Well, you're definitely not who you were then.
No, exactly.
Nobody is who they were.
I was like a child and I've learned so much and so like I'm not around a bunch of like
I was thinking this the other day.
Crazy people.
I went down the rabbit hole again. How much time we got? I went down the rabbit hole of these police videos again. I found a new police video account, so I was watching new ones, and it's like fatal shooting, just seeing like these crazy situations.
Yeah.
And it started giving me flashbacks to like when I was younger and did all kinds of crazy things when I was like 16, 17 years old, 15, 16, 17. And I was just like trying to show off to my friends and we were doing all this dumb shit out in the world and like things that if it had gone a different way and a cop saw us, probably would have shot us the way I see them just like, because we would like have like a BB gun and do stupid shit with it. Like it looks like a real gun.
Yeah.
Just being fucking dumb kids thinking we're being funny. And then like I'm watching all these things where like somebody gets fatally shot because they pulled out a BB gun, not realizing like the cops are going to shoot you if they see that.
Fuck, yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so lucky that that didn't happen. And also, why did I do that? Why? Because who I am today, I'm like, I would never do that.
I know.
Never. So what are the forces inside of me at that age? And a lot of you kids probably you don't understand because you're in your age where you're 15, 16, 17, 20 years old, where you're this young, testosterone-filled
what you're doing
adolescent man,
you look back on it later.
And you're driven by forces like your hormones and your testosterone and your teenage angst and your desire to fit in and show off and make friends and whatever forces are around you. You don't understand that when you're a 30-year-old man, you'll look back on that and be like, what the fuck was I doing? Sorry, Mom. It's alien to me. Like I remember it. Like I did that.
I know.
But I cannot for the life of me understand. I can like rationalize why I did it because I do understand. I had a lot of testosterone. I was trying to fit in. I didn't know my place in the world and I just wanted these kids to like me. And I started imagining like, what if a cop had spotted me doing one of these things and shot me dead and everybody would be like, he was a terrible person for doing that. And really my motivation was like, I just want these guys to accept me. Yeah. I just want to fit in. They're doing it, so I have to do it. Like peer pressure type things.
That's such a crazy thing too, because it's like, you're just trying to one up the other person to be like fit in.
Yes.
So we're all just like, oh, he did this. Okay, I have to do this now.
Yeah. Like I didn't even want to do it. I was just doing it because my friends were doing it, and you just
and they're like not wanting to do it, but it's because the other friend did it. And it's this whole feedback that's awful.
And then it's just
and
a
no
luck of the draw of the universe of whether or not you get caught or whether something bad happens. And then people will judge you. Adults would judge you like, oh, he was a terrible hoodlum or whatever. And this happens. And so I'm watching these things like where people will get shot because they pull something out or they make some mistake with the cops. And I empathize with understanding, like, one, you got to be smart enough not to fight the cops and not do this, but also understand, like, from their perspective, they like somebody, the worst ones are when somebody runs from the cops in a car and the driver is speeding away. And I understand that adrenaline dump of like, I just got to get away at all costs. And there's a passenger in the car who's just like, and then the cops end up shooting into the car to kill them because like they're putting the cop's life at risk or somebody on the road. And the passenger gets killed because they were just hanging out with their friend who did something stupid. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh my God, that could have happened 100 different ways with me growing up. And it was just lucky that never happened. And there's no reason. It's not like they did anything wrong. No. And the cops didn't do anything wrong. They're doing what they got to do. They're doing what they got to. But there's somebody who's just like, I just was like protecting my friend.
It's really just lucky. And we just now realize that it's lucky because of social media. And we kind of see it more happening.
Yeah, videos.
Yeah. And that's why we realize that we're lucky now.
Yeah, I look back and I'm like, I was so lucky that there was no social media. Yeah. First off. That I didn't get caught in the act of any of these.
Do you think cops are being more aware now and more kind of trigger happy because social media is around? So they see like, oh shit, this could have happened to me. Yes, and so now they're kind of on edge and they're like,
they're not going to see like, oh, these, and understand the kids. They're thinking like, I've seen all these ways where I get killed if I don't pull the trigger. Yeah. Because they see so much more video of it going bad for them. Yeah. But also we have to understand that from the kids' perspective, even if they're doing something illegal or criminal, like we have to understand that like they're driven by forces too that are somewhat out of their control. Yeah. And not just
that they're a bad person.
They're not unredeemable. Yeah. Irredeemable. They're people who are discovering how to fit into this world and how to like behave. And sometimes you make a mistake that can be a life or death mistake, and there's no taking it back. And you could just get shot up, or you wreck the car, or you're dead, or whatever.
That's what fucking jail is supposed to be.
And it's not.
You do something wrong, so now you can go into this and learn how to, I don't know. It's like supposed to be a place where you can reform, but it's not.
Punishment. They say it's for rehabilitation.
That's
it's for
how
punishment.
we need to make it. How do we make it so that it can be rehabilitation? Because
that's a whole nother discussion.
I know, it's so sad that, okay, you did a bad thing. That does not make you a bad person, but we put you in jail to now you're going to probably be in this vicious cycle.
To think of a 17-year-old kid who could make a mistake and then be imprisoned for 40 years. Yeah. As though I know for a fact that 40-year-old man is not that 17-year-old boy. Everybody knows that fact. Any fucking one of those cops, sorry, Mom, any one of those cops also knows I'm not the same man I was when I was 17. They all know it.
But they expect you to then come out once you're 40 to just live in this world that's completely
and you don't even know who you are. Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, what are you going to do now?
On that note, we got to take another commercial break and change this clip. It's a crazy situation.
It's fucking nuts.
Yeah. All right. We'll be right back.
All right.
On that note, as much as we could get into all that, and maybe you guys have more questions, but this segment is going to be actually taking your questions. So if you have questions, please tweet them at Nick Foster Jokes or put them in the Twitch chat, Nick Foster Official. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're gonna start going. Yeah.
Oh, I was just about to do. Wait.
Oh, dude, yeah, our audio is our Twitch is terrible.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Weren't you just spending forever fixing that?
I know it's terrible. Clearly, it's terrible. Our viewers are way down. Everything's down.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, sorry, guys. Well, now we know.
That seems to be going.
Okay, TikTok's still good. So, guys, hit me up in the Twitter
In
on
the
the on the Twitters.
Can you twit me?
Tweet us your questions, and we will get into this. All right. Honest opinion on Joe Rogan. He's a loser and a beta male, and I don't know.
So my honest opinion.
Oh, yeah. Listen to from a female's perspective. Honest opinion on Joe Rogan.
Okay. I haven't seen him except for like a couple of his videos, really.
Say it.
But he's kind of like a creep. I feel like he's a creep.
Joe Rogan, you a creep, bro.
I'm sorry.
You a creep.
I don't want you to be a creep, but you seem like a creep. I don't know. Is he gay?
He came out as bi to cover up his friend.
Okay, good. Because then that kind of makes you less of a creep. Just because
Nah.
if you were only trying to like have sex with girls, I don't know. I got this like.
Well, if you're bi, that means you're also into girls,
yes,
and he's looking heavily for validation of women.
Yes.
And all feminists, all male feminists, you guys don't understand this.
So I could literally psychoanalyze him. Like he was
we
molested
would,
as
but
like a
honestly,
child, right? By a woman.
Probably.
So that's maybe why he's like trying to be validated by women, I guess. I don't know. There's like this whole.
He's never in his life got attention from women where people are sexually attracted to him.
No, he did.
And if you
he did
not in a good way, that doesn't count.
Exactly. So he wants it to where he can be loved by women that he actually like.
I don't know. I think he wants to be loved by Calvin, the rapist.
And so,
anyways,
like this
I don't care about Joe Rogan.
theory.
Enough about Joe Rogan. We're gonna get into better questions. You can psychoanalyze him on your own time.
I'll tell you later.
Okay, cool.
You're like, no, don't.
What motivated me to start TikTok? Yeah, I'm a content creator and a shit talker and an internet troll. So TikTok was just that next level of.
And he's really good with videos.
Yeah,
I feel like it was like perfect like
when I can get them all going.
Niche.
It's a lot of work, but I do like video and podcasting and talking and social media.
You're so good at all of that.
And I'm a coder, so I understand the app development side of things. I'm all over the place.
You love the social media.
For sure. I think it's very.
And this worked. It was kind of like what's it called?
Weave.
Kind of kind of like a weave, but like live.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know what that is. I was on a bunch of social medias. I've been on everything. I've been on social media since MySpace.
Yeah.
I've been around. I grew up with it.
So crazy.
And I've always been on things, and I've always kind of made a name for myself, and always kind of trolled and told jokes and done all this.
But Weave was like 10-second clips.
Yeah, Weave was a social media app that was out in like 2013, 14, I think. And I got big on there, but it was a smaller app and it didn't last and it shut down.
Yeah.
But I've been on Blab. I was big on Blab too, which similar thing. It was a little bit bigger than Weave, but shut down.
But this is more like.
I've always made a name for myself on these types of apps. And I saw TikTok and I was like, oh, that's perfect. I could do that too.
It's like
and
the same thing.
I literally, when I downloaded it, was like, I know I could get on this thing and get big.
I know.
But I just got to do it. And I was telling you for a while, like, all right, Erin, I got to do this. And you're like, do it. And then I like put it off for a while. And I was like, I know, I got to do this. And then it was November of last year. We're now in November of 2020. I got on at the end of November 2019. And I just started doing what I've always done. Telling jokes, being sarcastic, trolling, stirring up the pot. And I just got hate right away. Literally before I had any fans, I just had people trying to cancel me. That's when I knew, like, I got this, because I thrive when people try to cancel me.
I know.
I thrive.
You love it.
I literally, guys, you don't understand, okay? For the last 2 months, I've been pretty much like almost depressed.
Yes.
That I don't have haters.
Yeah.
I was like, Erin, I don't know what I'm doing. Haters don't care. Nobody is getting mad.
I'm getting so much love.
I was upset.
Oh my God.
I was like, this is boring. I don't, like, what do I do? And I just was so unmotivated and in a funk.
I know.
And then this past 2 weeks, I just got so many people mad at me, and I was like a new life. I was like skipping around the house.
Re-spark.
I was Erin. I was like, am I fucked up? Like, what? Somebody needs to do a psychoanalyzing of me to figure out why I feel so happy when people hate me. but feel so sad when people love me.
I just think it's...
What is that?
I kind of have my ideas. It's fine. Well, I just think it's like you growing up and so many people kind of like putting you down and putting you in this thing and like you're not allowed to be this or like just kind of putting you down.
Rules of society.
Rules, yes. And like you're just like, fuck this. Like
I
I'm gonna
hate
be
society.
Yeah. And so it's just
I need the chip on my shoulder.
Yes.
It motivates
Yes.
me. It gives, and I need an adversary. All of my sense of humor and my jokes. Like if I sat
this
down.
was ingrained into you since your childhood.
Kind of. I grew up in a big family where everybody is like, you have to fight for attention. That's one thing. But my family's great and I love my family.
Yeah.
There's no, everybody wants to still think like you have mommy issues or whatever. My mom loves me and I love her.
She is the sweetest person
Like, no,
ever. I absolutely love her. Like,
it's not
I
that.
wish, I'm so glad like she's my mom now.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom.
Is she? Is she? You wish. But it was society. It was like teachers
so
and friends and rules of society. There's just this, I don't know. But then social media took off and I just noticed, like I started doing stand-up comedy in like 2010, 11. And I would sit down and I would try to write jokes. And it was hard. Like if I sat down and tried to just make a funny TikTok right now, it would be hard. But when I scroll my For You page and I see somebody say something ridiculous or dumb and I just have like a witty comeback, it's so easy. I'm so good if I have a person to battle. I need to battle them.
I know.
And that fuels me. So when I start getting all these haters coming at me, it's like lights me up, fires me up. And when everybody's like, you're funny, you're great, this is awesome. I'm like, well, what do I say to that?
Fuck you. I'm not great.
I just don't know.
Sorry, Mom.
It's weird. Okay, next question. We got a lot of questions from Kay here. Yo, Kay, shout out to Kay. You are our #1 fan, I guess, on the Twitter. What video first went viral? I had several that went viral. I had some early videos that got like 10,000 views that I was like, that's amazing. Now that would like crush me. I'd be like, oh, this is terrible.
So what I think, it's not a video, but it was his game. And Ellen shouted it out.
Oh, that was my first game.
That's
a whole different story.
Viral.
But I'd say on TikTok, the big one was the Lizzo joke. I did that Lizzo joke that was like, quick, name one famous woman who's fat. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Notice how you said Lizzo. Because all these women were getting mad when I made a Lizzo joke. Like, Lizzo's not fat. She's amazing. How dare you say this? And then I was like, okay, I'm going to get them to say it. So I set it up and I was like, quick, name one famous woman who's fat. So in their mind, they're like, oh, well, there is a fat. They're thinking like I'm saying there's no fat women out there, even though I'm like, of course there is. And I know who it is. And you're going to think it too. And then they're like, Lizzo. And then they say it and they're like, damn it. I even agree she's fat. That got 14 million views on TikTok, 2 million. Like that's my biggest video of all time. Even to this day.
Yeah.
And that was like a couple months. That was like 2 or 3 months into TikTok.
Yeah.
14 million views. It was insane. I was like, this is crazy. And then I just kept going. And then that account got deleted. So you guys can't even see it anymore. But I'll put it up on my YouTube.
Oh, you should do it again.
I should, but it would never do the same thing. That was a different time. TikTok moves on.
I know.
And you can't recreate the magical moment that is. And it's a narrative. True. That's the thing people don't understand about my jokes is that it's not just yo, yo, yo. It's not just me making jokes out of nowhere. That's what a lot of people think. They think I'm just making jokes that are just like for no reason. Like you just try to be an asshole here. And I'm like, no, this is in a narrative of what people are saying to me. And that Lizzo joke was off of all these people coming at me, trying to convince me Lizzo is not fat. So I use that as my motive. And if I said that now, I'm not talking about Lizzo now. Like it doesn't matter now. I love you, Lizzo, but you're a little fat.
She's great though.
When you made that rape joke, did you expect to get that much hate? Yeah. Well, it depends which one. The first one that everybody can. When
You're always
like, I'm expecting to get hate.
It's like, okay.
I told the whole story of this. If you guys go back and watch the episode called "Nick is Not Canceled" on this podcast, I talk all about it.
You're fucking on it.
Yeah.
You're so good at recalling.
I remember.
God, I wish I had your memory. You're like an elephant.
Am I?
You are.
I'm not really.
I love it.
It's just I'm good at things
recalling.
Not everything.
No,
it depends. I get the important parts and the general parts. There. Trust me. There's a lot of things where I kind of misremember things, or I kind of just have the general vibe of things that I don't remember all the details because the details are not important.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like things I do, like creations and stuff, I stare at them so much that I know exactly.
I love that. I love that you can remember.
I love that you love that. Where did you meet Erin? Ooh.
Ayo.
We'll tell that story. That's a whole story. I feel like we have told that story, but we'll tell it. There's so many questions here. I'm like, that's a whole long thing.
Yeah.
Did you have any name ideas for the baby? Oh, we can't say it on here.
Can I?
No.
Can we?
No.
I wanna.
No. We're saving it for because
Xavier.
No. Listen, that baby is dead and buried in the backyard
underneath
and
our key lime tree.
we cannot name the baby, and we cannot rename our next baby that same name so she listens to this podcast.
I know.
And then it's like, what? That was the baby's name that you buried? And then no, that baby we don't care about. It's dead. We care about our new baby when it's alive. Okay, we're not gonna be like, you had an older sibling who died.
No, there were no names.
No.
There were no names. It's just names I like.
Yeah, we have
it's
names.
Like if you could have asked me, like, what are your future kids' names? Then I could tell
had
you.
names picked out for if it was a boy or a girl, but that is not for that boy or girl. It's for the first boy or girl that's born.
Yes.
That's the name of the baby.
Ding, ding.
Did you have any jobs before TikTok? Yeah, I had several. I mean, I worked a lot of random odd jobs when I was, 15, 16, 17, up to like 20.
What was your favorite job when you were younger?
I would say Wolf Camera, probably.
Working at a camera store?
I worked at a camera store. That was my last job.
What does that mean?
With
kids
Phil,
are like, wait,
people would come in. People would come in and ask to look at cameras to buy it because there was no Amazon. I mean, there was, but people weren't really using it. And people would come in and develop their film and be like, "Could you print these pictures for me?"
I've never seen them. I hope they're good.
Yeah, and I would have to. And people are like, "Do you see everybody's pictures?" Yes,
I
would go through and see everybody's pictures and all their intimate, weird shit that they would take pictures of. It was pretty fun. And then the economy collapsed in 2008, and I quit my job and dropped out of school and said, "Fuck this. Sorry, Mom. I'm never going to work another job again." And I've never worked another job again. Yay. That's a whole nother story how I managed that. What would you cheat on Erin with Papa Gut? No, just a bunch of other people.
I was going to say, I wouldn't be mad at that.
All right, all the questions. How much money did you make on OnlyFans? We did pretty good for a while, but we haven't posted in a while, so we have to get it going again. We got pregnant. Erin got pregnant.
He did it to me. So.
Yeah, and we kind of laid off for a while. Then we had to recalibrate.
Again.
So we are going to restart the OnlyFans. So guys, get ready to subscribe to our OnlyFans. Yeah. And unlike other people's, we actually show things on there. We actually do things. Other people have OnlyFans, and they're like, I don't actually post naked pictures. It's just exclusive content.
What does that even mean?
Well, I don't know. Bikini shots? I don't know.
Oh.
I think Papa Gut has an OnlyFans. So I should
dress like a Mormon.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Although
person.
I do feel like we would have killed it while you were pregnant.
And then just take it out. I mean, probably. But
so yeah, our stream is so terribly laggy that I'm going to stop it and restart it so people can ask questions in there. It is awful.
Is the Twitter over?
Twitter, no, the Twitter is there, but that was all the questions on there. Guys, step up your Twitter questions. I mean, we could get into the how did Nick meet Erin, but that's a long story too, and we don't really have that much time. Save that question for another time because I want to elaborate. We could probably do a whole podcast on that.
I like to hear his insight of it.
You've heard it enough.
I know. He's like, no, I want to hear yours.
Yeah. Okay. Did the Twitch restart? Hopefully, because we'll get some of those questions. I feel really bad about the Twitch. Like I put so much work into getting it perfect when we started, and then it got terrible. I guess.
Why?
I don't know, but the viewers
paid my
went down.
fucking Verizon bill today.
Yeah.
Frontier.
Let's keep that going. It's number one important thing around here is we got to keep the internet going.
I paid it, and then they hit me with a $200 bill.
Well, we won't do another episode about the bill. We had a whole episode too called Uber Eats Hacker. Check that one out, where we had to talk about all the chaos of the Uber Eats.
I don't know how that inquired into this, but yeah.
Because it was about bills and being overcharged and things we got to fix. Anyways, guys, we're back live on Twitch. So if you want to ask those questions on Twitch, you can send them in. All right, what else happened this week? So President Donald Trump is no more, allegedly. We're still on the fence. Guys, also, that's what I wanted to say is so many people are gloating like, eat it, cope. I'm like, I didn't even vote. I don't even care. Okay. I loved Trump, and I wanted him to win in 2016, but I didn't really even care this time. It doesn't
matter. Okay, so the real thing that matters is that Biden supporters thought that we were super divided because Trump was in office. Or not, didn't think that, but like...
Yeah, they think it's Trump's fault.
Yes. And so
little do they know.
Now that Biden is president, we're all going to come together and life is going to be...
Kumbaya.
But it kind of already... It's like life was already good before. I don't know. It was fine. Yes, COVID, yes, all these things. But
life is still fine. All these people act like the world ended because President Trump was in there for 4 years. What happened?
Yes.
No. What happened?
No, yes. So they're
Please
also
tell me.
Your life hasn't changed because you're a white male.
Yeah, neither has yours.
But also your life hasn't changed. How has it gotten worse? No.
Nothing. Literally nothing except you had to watch the news and you got mad at the news. You had to read Twitter and you got mad at Twitter.
So now that you think Biden is in charge, it's going to be better now.
Yeah, you had to see people with red hats that said "Make America Great Again," and you got mad.
What's going to make it better?
Nothing.
Is your job going to be better?
Literally
no, you're
nothing.
in a shitty job. You should probably change your job if you're not happy.
Exactly.
Oh, your friends and everything aren't good? Okay, maybe get better friends. It's like all of these things don't boil down to government.
I did a TikTok about that because some girl was like, I'll tell you what happened because of Trump. There was more racist incidents at my school. Choose a better school. You think those racists are just going to disappear or just got created because of Trump?
It's not even that.
Those are just shitty people.
Why does it have to be about Trump or about Trump? Why can't it be there's a 15-year-old boy in your school who's rowdy
who's an asshole.
He's making asshole comments?
Take it up with that kid.
Yes. Why couldn't it be that was going to happen no matter what, and that's just who he fucking is?
Now kid's going to go to school and be like, oh, Trump's not president anymore. Hi, I respect you now.
No, he's still going to be a fucking asshole.
Exactly.
That doesn't have to deal with Trump being a person.
Look, I don't care that Biden, to me, it's fine either way.
Causation is not, what's the word?
Correlation is not causation.
Yes. Just because Trump is in office does not mean what is happening in your everyday life.
Trump did not come to your school and be the puppeteer of these kids who are being assholes to you. And guess what? They're still going to be assholes to you.
Yes.
And also, I'm not like hateful or really racist to people.
And I'm not on either side.
People call me racist because they think jokes are racist, but I'm still going to make jokes about you that piss you off, regardless of if Trump's in office or not. I don't give a fuck. Like you're not, it's not like life's going to go back to everybody's going to be like, oh, we love you. No, we don't love you. You're annoying. You get triggered by everything. I mean, I do love you, but that's how I show love is by making fun of you. If you're being dumb.
Yes.
It's true. Nothing happened. People don't remember.
Bad happened.
The thing is, a lot of these younger people, like they weren't even old enough to even realize what was going on in 2016 because, 4 years is a long time for a 12-year-old to a 16-year-old. At that time, people were saying Trump was literally Hitler and was going to get us into nuclear wars and the world was going to collapse. We're 4 years later and Trump is voted out. They were like, he's never going to leave office and he's going to pretend, but he's going to leave office and everything's fine.
I'm excited to see his.
They thought he was going to send armies into the street and put people in concentration camps and do all this crazy shit. Nothing Nothing happened. What about the kids at the border? Guess what? Obama did that too. Every president does that. When people cross the border illegally, they get detained and they get separated. That's what happens. We kind of
talked about this the other night when we had people over about the border control in a sense of just that, what was it? The big companies that are, what's it called? Hiring illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
Just to, punish the companies, because what they are doing right now is they are just sending the illegal immigrants back to wherever they came from and not even punishing the companies that had hired them. It's like, first of all, if you want this to change, punish the companies that are hiring them and let the illegal immigrants become legal. Have them have a quick step into it because they already have a job. Obviously, they are members of society, and so just give them a pass. Yes, here's your social security number. You can still work here and not have to pay taxes. Your family and everything can stay here. Why not? The jobs that people are taking.
Well, there's an argument. It's a complicated situation, and we're coming up on the end of it. Do we do another clip?
It's so dumb.
Do we do another clip?
Yes.
All right, we'll do one more clip,
so.
And then
all the clips.
Well, we're not doing all the clips, but I have to clip this. So either we're ending or we're doing one more.
Oh yeah. What do you think?
I'm down.
All right.
Okay, we'll do one more. Okay, we are back, guys, on the Twitch. Yeah, that's this is awful. We got 8 people. It's terrible. Stream reset, but it's still broken. I don't know.
Are there any more questions?
I don't know why it's broken. Well, we're getting into the Trump thing. That's what I wanted to talk about because that is kind of the big event of the week.
Yes.
Is that nothing happened? Guys, I know. Look, here's the deal. Okay, we're going to get into this.
You can.
I know.
Did you touch it?
Well, I was just.
Let's go move it.
It's
your
okay.
way.
Okay, a little bit more.
I know.
You're like, it's not totally
We have
centered.
this whole green. Yeah.
I know that not everybody loves Trump. I don't think you should love Trump. Mm-hmm. I can understand. Trump is a divisive character. He has a personality that's very off-putting to people.
Who gave him the right to Twitter? First of all.
Twitter did. I'm glad he had Twitter. That was so entertaining. First off,
he needs a publicist for
Step
it.
aside of everything about politics and the dignity of the presidency and all. He was entertaining. These last 4 years were entertaining as hell. And that's what you get having a reality show.
He's the first president to have Twitter, right? No, did Obama?
He's the first president that Twitter was mainstream. Obama came into the presidency when Twitter barely existed.
And Obama was the first one to use social media to gain
but it was nowhere. Social media
it was
wasn't
new
where
it
is now.
In that essence.
Correct.
Yes.
So I would say Trump is the first social media president.
For sure.
Obama technically is. Bush, no. But Obama, yes.
Yeah. So any president after fucking Trump can use it to say whatever the fuck. I pooped today. Yay!
What's funny is all the tweets get saved in the presidential library records of
oh God,
U.S. history.
Shut up.
Yeah, Trump is gonna go down in history.
Oh God, that's awesome.
This is what presidents were doing.
That's fuck you.
Look, I get it. He's off-putting. He's a divisive character. He's brash. He's sarcastic. He's a bit of a dick. He's not, there's all of these things.
Yes.
I get that.
Yeah.
But nothing happened. Your life is not worse. Nothing has changed. You convince yourself of this all the time. What about the kids at the border? You don't know any of the kids at the border, okay? You don't. There was 100 kids at the border. Okay, I understand. It's terrible, but guess what? Let me tell you what Obama did to kids in the Middle East. Yeah. He blew them up, okay, with Predator drones.
Yeah.
All right? Shut up about caring about the kids who aren't, nothing changed. Presidents do terrible things. Yeah. Every president ever has done terrible things.
Yes.
And because they have an eloquent voice, you're like, oh, that's fine. Obama can blow people up from the sky. And
he speaks to me, though.
But he looks good in a suit and he has a good free throw. He's so charming.
I know. I loved Obama.
It's like I loved Obama too. I'm not even
terrible shit.
I'm not even
but
blaming.
Also, I love him.
I'm not even really holding him accountable because presidents have to do difficult things all the time. But this idea that Trump did something so awful, in a lot of ways, Trump did way better at foreign wars and atrocities. He pulled back so much. That was good. That was a good thing. I mean, it was ineffective. Nothing actually changed. But people thought he was going to get us into nuclear war with Korea. That's what people thought. Nothing happened.
I thought it's because nuclear war didn't happen. He did a good thing.
I mean, he did. That's what I'm saying. Is like he did not escalate things into a terrible way. He was very against foreign wars. He didn't up the drum. I got to look at all the numbers, but he's not a warmongering president. Everybody says he's an authoritarian who's going to take all our rights and lock us up in like
lock her up.
Just all this shit. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. You had to hear him say things that were rude. That's all that happened.
Or read what he said. Just
Twitter. Oh yeah. I mean, he wasn't a good talker. I get if you don't, but that's your only argument is he annoys me. That's the big thing. That was and you're acting like the guy was Hitler. He's not Hitler. He was Donald Trump. We all knew who Donald Trump was when he went into office. We've known Donald Trump since the 1980s. Donald Trump was. Everybody loved Donald Trump in the 90s and 2000s. Everybody watched his show. Every
loves to hate him.
No. People liked him. People thought he was funny. People thought he was charming. The entire rap community and hip hop and black community thought he was like the epitome of goals, success, and money. So go back and listen to hip hop songs from 1990 and the early 2000s. It's all like, I want a ball like Donald Trump.
They reference him.
They love Donald Trump. They loved him. And then he becomes president and they're acting like this guy is Adolf Hitler. Who has died? Oh, 200,000 people died from coronavirus. That's nothing. I'm sorry if it was your grandma, but that's nothing. That's not
even that. It was going to happen anyways.
Yes,
so what
they
does that
said,
mean?
the CDC came out and said, if we do everything right in the best case scenario, there's going to be 200,000 deaths. Guess what? That's how many there were. If we did everything perfect. And they're acting like Trump killed all those people. Look, he didn't take it serious and he obviously was aloof and he gave out bad advice. Like, I get it. There's complaints there. But this idea, like if Biden was in or Hillary Clinton was in, there wouldn't be 200,000 deaths. What were they going to do different? What were they going to do?
So
nothing. They weren't going to do it. They were going to say it in better words.
Maybe you'd have less deaths, but the economy would be even more dead. We had to open it when it needed to open.
And nobody is counting those types of deaths.
There's so many small businesses that have died. Yes.
People who are depressed, who are killing themselves, suicide rates, children who are being abused because they're stuck at home, who have lost an entire year and a half of social life. Not year and a half, year.
No,
They're going to lose a year and a half, 2 years. So many other effects of this quarantine, more than the 200,000 dead. And then Trump gets coronavirus and he kicks it in 2 fucking days. The dude is obese, 77 years old, never eats healthy food. And he kicks it that fast. How many? Like, I still don't know a single person who's died of coronavirus. I know they are. I'm not denying that.
Yes.
But we're acting like it's the plague.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Look up the plague.
We don't remember the plague because we weren't born.
We don't remember, but we can read that it was a lot
fucking insane and everyone was dying.
It was very apparent that we are dying.
Left and right.
This person dead by noon.
You're fucked.
Like you pick up a symptom and 5 hours later you're dead.
Yeah.
That's what the plague was.
What was the plague? What
the bubonic plague.
I know. What did it was it a lung disease? Was it
was a the bubonic it's a bubonic plague versus a pneumonic plague versus there's 3 types.
What does that mean? Ooh.
One's in the lungs, one's of the skin or lymph nodes.
I think that's what it was.
Lymph nodes?
Yeah, that's what it was because what we have now is the lungs.
Yeah.
It's a long one.
And it's not.
The other one's a lymphoid.
Yeah.
And that's fucked.
Dude, lots of things are super fucked.
If you have that as cancer, you're fucked.
And I'm not saying we shouldn't take it serious. I'm not saying we don't have to take precautions. I'm not saying we don't have to make sacrifices. All of that is true.
Of course,
but
yes.
pretending as though if Biden is going to be in office, all of a sudden everything's better, or if Hillary was in office, everything would be better.
Because we all have to stay inside and we have to really quarantine. But fuck your small business. Fuck everything that's out there.
Everything.
Except if you're a grocery store.
No, those are going to be affected too. Everything's being affected.
Well, groceries not going to because we need groceries.
But
whether they can get groceries or not.
Small business grocery stores.
Yes. But whether you can get groceries or not and to boost your
and how ironic that when Biden won, people are celebrating in the streets. Like, oh, you can't get coronavirus when you're rioting for Black Lives Matter, and you can't get it when you're celebrating for Joe Biden winning the White House. But if you go to a Donald Trump rally, you all got it.
Oh, yeah.
They all mocked Donald Trump for getting the coronavirus, and it was kind of funny. I'm not going to lie. I laughed. I was like, this is kind of funny. What if Donald Trump died from the coronavirus? And that's what everybody was thinking. It's like, he's going to die. It's all a cover-up. No, it wasn't. He kicked it. The dude is in all of the bad case scenarios of the virus of who should die, and he kicked it into. He is the epitome of unhealthy.
That's insane.
And he kicked it, and we're pretending like it's going to ruin the world. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's going to kill your grandma who's 97 years old. It's going to kill certain people's
grandma.
Yes. And I'm sorry, but guess what? She's going to die anyways.
I know.
She's going to die.
I know.
We might have it and not even know.
I mean, I don't think so.
I have been coughing. Either way, these last 4 years have been 4 years of people screaming and crying like the sky is falling down. Dude, they threw everything at Donald Trump. Everything they possibly could. And the dude kicked it and made through it and fought it off and figured out a way. And like, I actually have a lot of respect for the guy. I'm really interested, and I don't mind that he's reelected. Everybody who's like, Donald Trump won, I don't know. There is some credible things where I'm like, this is kind of weird. It's kind of weird how all the states that were exactly the swing states and that Joe Biden would absolutely have to win. Donald Trump's vote was way up compared to 2016, and then Joe Biden's votes happened to just exactly exceed that. But then down ballot, things like usually when you vote for a Republican, you vote all Republican. When you vote for Democrat, you vote all Democrat. But you see that didn't happen. It was just Trump didn't give, even though his votes were way up higher than any president who's ever been sitting in history who was up for re-election, had more votes than any in history because people were motivated to vote for him. Somehow that didn't have an effect down ballot. People still voted for Republicans, even though somehow they didn't vote enough for Donald Trump. But then Joe Biden had all these extreme votes when nobody was enthusiastic to vote for him. They were just kind of, I don't know. There's just weird things. I don't really care. To me, I'm like, I think it's a fair win. I think Joe Biden wins. I'm not crying about it. It's whatever. Joe Biden could come in.
Do you think there's this conspiracy then?
Well, I also think it's funny how in 2016 people are like, it's corrupt. The entire election was rigged by Russia with $100,000 of Facebook ads. They fraudulently stole this entire election. And then this year they're like, nope, there's no fraud at all. Everything is exactly right. What happened to it's so easy to rig the election?
Yeah.
You know, it's just stuff like that. Whatever. I don't know. Nobody knows. To pretend like I'm the expert of this, I'm just some dude.
So rig the election means that they're just sending ads to people.
The states where Joe Biden won overnight with all these mail-in ballots, they're only the states that are run by the Democratic Party. They're not states. It wasn't Florida. He needed Florida is run by Republicans.
Yeah.
He didn't get that. How come Florida was overwhelmingly for Trump, but then all these other states? I see
a bunch of fucking Trump flags everywhere.
That's what everybody else says in these other states. I don't know. You can't. Really this idea that like people know all these. This is all hearsay. It's all no. Stop, Erin. Stop,
Nicholas.
Stop. You're drunk. Go home. This is mine.
Who's the worst?
No, I'm the best. My point is, I think Joe Biden is going to win, and that's fine. Props to him, and go for it. But still, the idea that Trump was so the end of the world. No, he wasn't. He was a guy you didn't like. You cried about it for 4 years. You threw everything at the book that no other politician could stand up for. I have a lot of respect for him. I thought he was funny. I thought he was crazy. I thought he did a lot of things wrong. But I'm going to kind of miss him. And I felt the same way about Obama. I really miss Obama. Even to this day.
Oh, yeah.
I saw a video today of Obama, the Obama White House correspondence dinner where he has the reporters there. And he mocked Trump like Donald Trump's. This was back in like 2015 before Trump ran. And he was like, Donald Trump's here today. And he thinks he's going to be president, whatever. And it's kind of laughing at him. And everybody was laughing at him. And Trump's just like, I'll show you. Even up until the election, Obama had gone on, I don't know, what was it, Jimmy Kimmel or something. And he was like, Trump thinks I forget what it was, but Obama mocked him as like, at least I'm going to go down in history as a president, like laughing at him like you would never be president. And Trump's just sitting there like, I'll show you. I'll show you. And he did. He fucking won, and he did. He became president.
So
and you can't take that away from him. The guy was president.
Yeah.
He's going to be in the history books as president. And people are not going to look. I guarantee you, you're all so emotional right now. But we talk about history. We always say, like, how is history going to judge you? History is not going to judge Donald Trump like he's Adolf Hitler. They're going to judge him like this was a guy who wasn't that bad. That's how they're going to judge him. He was a crazy character, and it was a crazy time, and it was an interesting time. Yeah. But nothing bad happened.
He was just like a crazy person, and somehow got in wacky. Here, and it was fine.
It was fine.
And then it
was so fine.
And then he went out, and it was okay.
Yeah. But I saw the video of Obama like mocking him, and still I'm like, I like Trump, but I still like Obama too. I'm like, Obama, you're charismatic, and I like you too, just in different ways.
Yeah.
Why can people not understand that they both have qualities that are good and enjoyable? And even still, I would say I can understand more people liking Obama because he is such a dignified,
he was the best.
He was great.
He was the best.
And I can understand why you would not like Trump and why he's very divisive. I can understand.
Yeah.
But how can people not understand that you can like them both? That's what I don't understand. How is it all you have to hate Obama and love Trump, or hate Trump and love Obama? I'm like, I like them both. You know,
they're Republican or Democrat.
You know who I don't love? Joe Biden. Did any of you guys watch Joe Biden's acceptance speech and be like, other than I'm so glad Trump's out of office, are you really like, oh, that's the man for me?
No,
I can't wait to hear him speak for the next 4 years. Next 4 years are going to be so boring. You know what they're going to do? They're going to talk about Trump for 4 years.
Yeah.
They're going to talk about what Trump's doing, what's he tweeting, what news net. I bet Trump's going to start a news network, News Network. He's going to start his own news network. That's my prediction. Because it's like, what is the guy going to do when he's out of office?
I know.
He's never going to accept defeat. He's never going to go away.
Yeah.
He's going to do something big.
So crazy.
And I'm interested to see it.
Yeah.
But they're going to just talk about Trump. Nobody's going to watch Joe Biden for the next 4 years. It's It's so boring. He sounds drunk every time he talks. He was giving his acceptance speech like, the United States of America, blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, what are you saying, bro? Your words are slurring together. And I don't think he's going to be terrible either. A lot of people who think the world is going to fall apart because Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are president, and Joe Biden is probably going to die, and Kamala Harris is probably going to get taken over. Listen here, guys. Kamala Harris is not a far left socialist progressive. She is a centrist Democrat corporatist who will do the exact same things Hillary Clinton would have done, or any other Democrat, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton. She's going to do everything to support the banks, the pharmaceutical industry, the foreign wars. She's not going to do anything she's not going to give you free healthcare. She's not going to change the world. She's not going to bring equality for all. She's going to be a good face and a good speaker, kind of. I don't know. She kind of sounds drunk all the time, too. But it's not going to be the end of the world. And in 4 years from now, but whoever it is, whether Biden lives there or he dies and Kamala Harris takes over, they're going to be voted out of office in 4 years, and they're going to probably be replaced by another Republican. Democrats would have been smarter to let Trump win this election because he couldn't run again in 2024 and run somebody like AOC or Bernie Sanders. He probably would be too old then, but somebody who could actually get some change through. That's what the real liberals want and what the progressive wing of the Democratic Party wants. And instead they ran this milquetoast, old senile man, Joe Biden, and this corporatist, centrist, fake Kamala Harris, and she's not going to have a mandate. Nobody's going to be like, we elected you. She's not going to have power to do anything when she takes over.
If Biden does die during this term and there isn't the next election, is Kamala Harris is she the one who's automatically
president?
Yes.
And that means she will be on the ballot in 2024.
Okay.
But nobody's going to vote for her. She lost everything.
Yes. So it's like how this election went. When I saw my ballot, there were like so many other people that we never even heard of. So it would just be then Kamala Harris plus a Republican who has like worked his way up or her
who
way
goes
up.
through the primaries like Trump did, where he was on stage with everybody.
Yeah, okay. So
and it could be somebody crazier than Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And what are you going to say then? What are you going to say then when you threw everything at Donald Trump? You're a racist, you're Hitler, you're the end of the world. And then you actually get somebody like who's a skilled politician who doesn't act crazy like Donald Trump, but actually takes your rights away. That's what Republicans actually want to do. What if you had Mike Pence as president who wanted to have gay conversion therapy and is so Christian and won't even go to dinner with a woman other than his wife because he's afraid of being like, I'm going to be framed for sex crimes or some shit. Like crazy, right?
Oh God, who is this type of person? I want to sit down with them and just like talk to them. Be like,
there's a lot more people to worry about than Donald Trump. Donald Trump was not that bad, and you're gonna see it in time. We're gonna look back on this 10 years from now and just be like, just like how people look back.
It's the quiet ones you have to worry about,
who are skilled, who are really good.
Yes, like, he's just like loud. Says what the fuck is on his mind. You cannot be mad at that because you know exactly what he's thinking all the fucking time. Everybody's just like,
we're gonna look back on Donald Trump 10 years from now the way we look back on George W. Bush. Oh, he's not that bad after all. He's kind of funny and quirky and cute.
Oh yeah.
People don't understand, but you will. You certainly will not look back and think he's Adolf Hitler.
No.
Guess what? The Holocaust never happened. I mean, it did, but not this. Not the Donald Trump Holocaust.
Right now. Yeah.
Nothing happened.
That's fucking nuts.
So, but congrats to Joe Biden. I'm excited to see how that goes. Yeah. I wonder how long he's going to live. Congratulations, everybody. You're still not getting any of the things you want.
Oh, that's funny. Look at your phone.
I know. It's starting to fall. On that note, we are wrapping up the podcast. So everybody, please subscribe to this podcast. Follow me on Twitch. I will figure out the live streaming. Nick Foster Official on Twitch.
Yes. Can we like record? Maybe not after this, but... No.
Wait,
I want food.
Oh, we'll do some. Yeah.
Because like we could play games.
We'll talk about this. I'm wrapping up the podcast.
Right,
everybody, please subscribe to this podcast. Leave a comment, leave a like, and follow me on Twitch, Nick Foster Official, and of course on YouTube, Nick Foster Official. And we'll figure out the kinks and we'll get this going. Thanks for hanging out. Yes. Sorry that it was lagging. And congratulations to Joe Biden. Even though you stole the election, allegedly. I don't know. No, but congrats. Can't wait to see how this shit show goes. All right, everybody.
Okay, see you.
Bye.